guys, thanks for tuning in to this second video of the 24 Subaru Ascent series. We just got back home last night around 10:30, 11 o'clock. This is going to be one of the road trip videos I was talking about. I didn't really get a chance to do this video the way I wanted to, like vlog style. I'm not very good at that kind of stuff, so I'm going to throw up some pictures here in a little bit and just kind of go over our experience so far. But after 1,700 miles, finally made it home back to good old West Virginia. And yeah, this whole road trip thing was really nice in this car. It was my wife and her mother. We ended up taking this all the way up to Wisconsin and back, and everything was really nice. We had zero issues. The only thing that we did notice was, again, like I mentioned in the first video in the quick review, was the fact that like both of our phones would connect at the same time. So if she was sitting there watching TikTok or listening to stuff off her phone, the Bluetooth would pick that up and kind of interfere with just the Sirius XM radio and stuff like that. So overall, this was super nice. We got the average up to 22.9 miles per gallon and between 24 and 25 average just on the highways and things like that. So unfortunately I can't see that, and I didn't get a picture of it while we were driving, but I will, like I said, put up some pictures on how this car was doing. But overall, nobody had any complaints. This thing is extremely comfortable for long-term riding, as long as you get your seating position correct, mainly in the driver's spot. As you can see, I'm really close to the steering wheel here. My wife was driving this last night, and women tend to drive a little bit closer to the front of the steering wheel. So overall, just super happy with this. And like I said, I'll kind of put some pictures up and do a voiceover, and hope that my next road trip video will be a little bit better, get some more driving clips and things like that. But yeah, the back seats were extremely comfortable for long-term trips. So I hope that answers anybody's question about a long-term trip sort of riding experience in this car. So like I said, I'm gonna add some of the pictures and things like that of where we went and what we got to see, and do a voiceover on how everything was. All right, so just with the three of us driving, we only took 2 suitcases, a couple bags, and some jackets and coats like that. The rear storage compartment in this car really saves a lot. Ended up putting a couple ratchet sets, screwdrivers, any minor things like that you might need on a road trip. The rear trunk space is super nice and convenient for that aspect. But as you can see, we put the third row down and we only used the second row seating. Everything fit in there really nice. With it being a wedding week, we didn't have a whole lot of time to stop and shop, so no other options or objects or anything like that were purchased or put in the back of the vehicle. So this is what it looked like on the way up there and on the way back. So our road trip ended up taking us from the Eastern Panhandle, West Virginia, Martinsburg specifically, all the way out to Chicago, and then up to Burlington, Wisconsin, which is where the wedding was at. We took 70 east all the way out to Indianapolis, and then straight up to Chicago on 65, I think. Really nice driving, super flat after you get on the other side of Wheeling. The gas mileage was doing really well at this point. I think we were getting up to about 22, 23 just for that trip, and then obviously our average was going up on the way out here. So really nice driving. Not too much traffic. I think we only ran into construction around Richmond, Indiana, but other than that, it was pretty solid driving for not being on one of the toll routes. As far as gas goes, we only had to stop twice, I believe, or 2.5 times for the bathroom and gas. The car did phenomenal on that. Got us just about all the way out there on 2 full tanks. So I just got this really nice picture of the sunset when we were at a rest stop in Indiana. pretty cool. Right after this, we drove past the Subaru of Indiana manufacturing plant, so was going to get a picture there, but it was already too late and dark, so just a nice picture. That evening we got into Chicago, got up to our hotel, and really took in the sights of the city. Buddy took us around to some of the downtown areas, and just overall got to experience a good side of the city. Driving was horrendous, but the people and everything else like that, surprisingly for Chicago, was actually really nice, and we wouldn't hesitate going back to visit. The next day, we ended up getting up and driving about an hour and a half out to Burlington, Wisconsin, and we saw a few different places, such as the Mars Cheese Castle, and just kind of took in some of the scenery, which is all flat in Dairyland, but a nice, small little town. That's where my buddy was getting married. At the end of this, shout out to Quinn and Kaylee. Super happy to be involved on your special day, and we really had a blast driving all the way out there to see you guys. So the day after the wedding, we ended up getting back into the car and taking the turnpikes all the way from the other side of Chicago and Indiana through Ohio and Pennsylvania to come back home. It took about an hour and a half, 2 hours off of our trip, which saved us a lot of time. Going out of the city was really nice, not too much traffic around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, so we got pretty lucky there. Overall, not bad driving on the way out. As you can see, Indiana and Ohio were extremely flat. We were going about 70 to 75 with cruise control. The cruise control was really nice, but maybe in a future video I can talk about how finicky it was with where cars were at and things like that. Again, just not a whole lot to see, not a whole lot to do on the turnpike, just flat and straight, which probably helped our MPGs quite a bit, but overall it made everything very simple and quick. Tolls were about the price of a full tank of gas with this car, so about $45. And as you can see here, this was right before we got 22.9, so not much of a difference, but we had worked on it all day, just something to do, a little game to play while driving such a long distance. And then finally at night, a nice interior shot, almost home, and the interior system isn't too bright at night. It does have the nice auto dimming, so we didn't find any major issues with that. So overall, it was a really nice drive during the day and night. And at the end of this, I did want to add that we did not go through any type of weather. It rained a night in Chicago, and then kind of early morning fog while we headed up to Wisconsin. So didn't get a chance to test out the X mode or anything like that. Not that we would probably really need to, but car didn't get very dirty. Thankfully, going through Chicago and Indianapolis, we didn't get any type of dinks or dents from other drivers or just the road construction along the way. So again, very happy with how this turned out. Not very dirty, didn't have much to do as far as maintenance. I will be checking the oil this week before we head out to our next destination for a family Thanksgiving trip, and we'll see how that goes. If you made it this far, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Like I said, I'm not very good with the travel, like vlogging style videos, but I'm hoping to get a little bit better at that. So if there's anything you guys think I could do better with this video, just let me know. If you'd like to see the future videos on this car and where it takes us, we will be keeping this car for quite some time. Like I said, I'll be doing some maintenance videos when it's time for oil, and maybe a few additions such as like the roof rack. I might be taking the roof rack off of my car and putting it onto this once we get some crossbars, and then of course maybe a few different interior things such as screen protector and stuff like that. So hope you guys enjoyed. Again, if you have anything else, just let me know down in the comments, and I will catch you guys in the next one.